So I suggest you guys, after, if you have time this evening or tomorrow or sometime where you have a little downtime, check out this client interview on my Limo Marketer YouTube channel. Jennifer is by far the best business owner that I think I've met in this industry. She used to be an accountant. And so 13 years ago, she bought a limo company. And at the time, she was just an accountant. She didn't own her own accounting firm. She was just an employee. But she had helped her husband start I believe it was a detailing business. And she kind of learned the ins and outs of sales from that detailing business. And so when you take an accountant who's a numbers person and you combine it with someone who has sales experience, what you get is Jennifer. And what Jennifer is good at is she has her sales systemized. So there is a workflow, meaning quote comes in, she immediately sends them an email quote back and typically a text message, I believe. Okay, let's say this is in the morning. Well, if she doesn't hear back when her evening staff comes in around 3 or 4, they're instructed to call whoever didn't respond to that initial, email and text message. And so I think, and I believe the reason she said she does this is because she says, a lot of people are at work during the day and they can't answer the phone. So you try them in the evening. And then, if they don't pick up the following morning, reach out once again. And so really what I got from her is she said, we really follow up until we get a no, or obviously a yes, because she said most of her bookings come on the follow-up. So I want you guys to get that through your head. And I think the exact number she said on the initial phone call, 15% book right there. And the other, I can only assume 85% book on the follow-up. Now keep this in mind, a lot of her business is weddings. So that's a little different than someone who just does airport transfers, right? For someone who just does airport transfers, those numbers should be much higher for that initial call, because who wants to call and get 10 quotes for a $100 airport transfer, $90 airport transfer, right? So your close rate on the first call should probably be much higher for that sort of a service. But she's definitely a master, and it was a great interview. So if you have some time, check that out. It's on my YouTube channel. So this is the exact same slide that was for retail limo companies. You still, whether you do corporate and airport, or you're like a charter bus company or motor coaches or whatever you do, you want to be responding, in under 5 minutes, keeping track. All of those same things apply, but there's a huge, huge caveat for these. And that is the very successful companies that do corporate, airport, and charter buses, motor coaches, and things like that. They aren't just relying on the leads that are coming in. What they're looking for is opportunities. So when they get on the phone, and by the way, in the next slide, I'm going to let you guys know what your gift is, and it's going to help you out with what I'm about to talk about. So you need to be looking for opportunities in the leads you get. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is you need to figure out who's calling you for a quote, because maybe it's an athletic director, right? And maybe he's responsible for booking transportation for the team for the whole year. So that's a lot different than someone who's just looking for a one-off transfer, right? And so we need to, look at the email addresses. Many times people will use their personal emails, but sometimes they do use like their business emails. So that right there is like huge opportunity, because if, for instance, the email address is at JDCI law, okay, this is someone who works at a law firm. He's looking for transportation. Let's do a little research. How big is this law firm? Do a little research before you call someone like that. Because if it's a good sized law firm, maybe you offer the first ride for free. Hey, look, we would love to knock your socks off and show you the kind of service we offer. We'd love to give you your first ride for free. And then afterwards, try to figure out who at that, after you deliver service, after you have shown how much value you offer and the service you offer, and how amazing your product is, hopefully late model vehicles. After you do that, you want to figure out, okay, who's the decision maker that is in charge of booking these sort of services for their firm, and get in touch with them. Because look, guys, it's really about that repeat business. Whether you're doing SEO or pay-per-click or Facebook ads or whatever you're doing, it's not cheap, right? It costs money, and you really need, if you really want to maximize your return, you need to be doing outbound, semi-cold calls based on the leads you're getting. So I would highly, highly recommend doing that. I think AJ Khan, what's up, AJ, with exclusive transportation out of Kansas City. I think he's been doing this lately himself. So I'm interested to see what your results are going to be like for that, AJ. 2 months ago, I actually hired Nina Parsons. So for those of you who don't know her, she is the sales manager for Company Car and Limo. They're out of Cleveland, and she has completely blown up that company's sales. Well, here's the thing. Just watch the video. At the end of this training, leave your email, and I'm going to send you a link to this. Again, I did this just for my clients, but I thought it would be a great present for those of you who join me on this training. She taught me so much because, obviously I'm not a limo company. I'm not talking to clients every day. And she had so many brilliant insights and ideas. It really blew me away that if you can just implement a few of them, because that's another thing about these training videos, guys. I find what's most common is people watch them, but they don't implement the ideas. And so if you just try to implement 2 or 3 of the ideas you get on each of these little trainings, in a year, your business will be completely different from how it is now.